A very good evening to all of you and a very warm welcome to the National HRD Network webinar on a very crucial topic, Life Beyond Seizures, wherein our panelists are going to help us take an empathetic peek into the life of a person with epilepsy. I am Sheetal Bansode, the Chapter Coordinator for National HRD Network Pune and your happy host for today's webinar. I welcome you all today on the behalf of National HRD Network Pune core team as well as all the subcommittee members. This webinar will start with a learning discussion between our panelists and the moderators and will end with our panelists answering your questions. I invite you all to please share your questions or thoughts with us at any time during the webinar using the question panel of your GoToWebinar player. I now request Ms. Priya Khaladkar, who is also a member of our subcommittees, to welcome our guests and take the session forward. I wish you all an insightful session and I will see you all again in the Q&A session. Over to you, Priya ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sheetal. Hello, namaskar, good evening, one and all. As Sheetal rightly mentioned, we are here to discuss a topic which we would have normally not discussed. It is life beyond seizures, an empathetic look into the life of a person with epilepsy. Well, as National HRD Pune chapter, we have now decided to independently work on CSR initiative. This topic is falling under the CSR initiative, and with our motive to work with CSR initiative, we wanted to have more recognition to all the CSR activities, bring together all institutions, independent professionals, organizations who are already doing excellent activities in the field of CSR. And along with the above, we would also like to introduce various NGOs with whom organizations can pair and work for a social cause. Yes, as we all know, it is epilepsy, a disorder in which nerve cell activity in the brain is disturbed, causing seizures. Hence, it is also called as a seizure disorder. There are a lot of misconceptions about this topic, and rather I would say, instead of misconceptions, it is more lack of awareness in normal human beings. To help us understand more and to clear the misconceptions, we have experts from the field who would surely enlighten us and guide us through the topic. Well, let me introduce you to our panelists for today's discussion. We have Ms. Yashoda Wakankar, MA in Clinical Psychology, Diploma in Epilepsy Care. Welcome, Yashoda ma'am. She is the founder and chief trustee of Samvedana Foundation. She herself has experienced epilepsy from childhood and now is dedicatedly working for the noble cause from past 16 years. She has received national and international awards for her work. She's participated in 2 national and 1 international conference for marriage and epilepsy topic. Till date, she's written several articles and a lot of research papers on the topic. Her book will get published soon. Welcome, Yashoda ma'am. Our second panelist for today's discussion. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome. Our second panelist for our today's discussion is Dr. Purnima Karandikar. She is a neurologist based out in Pune, director of NICHE Advocacy Foundation. Dr. Purnima is passionate about emotional fitness and self-growth. She has interest in holistic management of neurological problems. Her special areas of interest are headache, including migraine, epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, sleep disorders, memory-related issues. We welcome Dr. Purnima Karandikar. Purnima Karandikar would join us sometime from now. There is some technical error which she is facing right now. Our next panelist for today's discussion is Ms. Leena Rajan. Ms. Leena has 22 years of experience in the field of management of development programs. She is currently associated with Bajaj Group in the CSR capacity as a zonal head. She has managed CSR activities and supported various programs, including entities like Zensar, Suzlon, Cummins, Bharati Vidyapeeth, Deepak Foundation, Tata Steel. We welcome Ms. Leena Rajan. Ms. Leena Rajan would join us shortly. Yes, we have one more panelist to be introduced, and I'm sure most of us surely know her. Yes, she is Ms. Ketki Chitale. She is a motivational speaker who spreads awareness about epilepsy through social media platforms. Welcome, Ketki, on board. We are so happy to have all of you here today. Thank you so much, Ketki. And we are equally excited to know more about the topic for our today's discussion, Life Beyond Seizures. Yes, I would now like to pass on to my colleague Suhas with the Q&A session. Suhas, you can take it further.
Suhas, we are unable to hear you. If you are unmute, could you please just check that button?
Thank you, Shivam. And we are all excited to know more about epilepsy now. And we have the experts from this particular topic. And I would like to ask first question about this topic. You know, this topic we are opening nowadays, everybody is listening about the particular word corona, but we are switching away and we want to know more about epilepsy. So I would like to ask Yashoda Madam, what is epilepsy according to you? Social aspect.
Firstly, I'm thankful to NHRD Pune chapter for arranging this event and keeping this topic of epilepsy, because epilepsy is such a neglected topic. See, my answer has started from here only, that epilepsy is a neglected topic, so it is no one talks about it. So since you are asking about what is epilepsy, I'm answering you in the social point of view. So epilepsy is a disorder with lot of misbeliefs and misconceptions. It is just a neurological disorder and it is a treatable disorder. However, we have so many misconceptions about this disorder, and from society's perspective, it may be embarrassing disorder because it looks different. People may fall down, or there is a huge social stigma and there is a social taboo about this disorder, about epilepsy. See, Suhas, people may talk about their heart attack, their bypass openly in the parties, but no one will talk about their epilepsy. No one will tell openly that I have epilepsy and so on. In fact, even if you will ask that do you have epilepsy, so no one will talk and no one will tell you the truth. So this is just a neglected topic and people feel embarrassed to talk about it. In fact, meaning of the word epilepsy is from Greek language. It is to grab or to hold, because when it was discovered, people thought it is something of ghost or god, and so someone is grabbing you, someone is holding you. So the meaning of the word epilepsy is also like that, and that's why this disorder itself is with lot of barriers and misconceptions. Actually, it is a neurological disorder and it is treatable.
Okay. Kirki, would you like to add something from your end?
Yeah, well, there are treatments. First of all, as Yashoda ma'am rightly said, thank you so much, NHRD Pune, for taking up this neglected topic, as she rightly put it. Yes, people are embarrassed because not only due to the different activities that a person ends up doing when they experience a seizure, but also because we end up flashing our inner clothes sometimes, which makes it much more embarrassing for the person. Yes, it has treatments, but many a times what happens is when the doctor, or as Yashoda ma'am said, it is treatable, many people don't realize that there is a difference between treatable and curable. So epilepsy is treatable, but as of now, there is no cure for it. I think Dr. Purnima will be, or Yashoda ma'am as well, will be able to clarify it in a much better way. Yashoda ma'am?
Okay, I will say epilepsy is a disorder which can get controlled with the help of medicines. So treatment is very important for this disorder. One has to go to the neurologist. Even children can go to the pediatrician and they can refer to the neurologist or epileptologist. And epileptologists, neurologists, they generally give you the medicines and you have to continue with the medicines. as I'm working as epilepsy counselor
Yeah.
for last 16 years, and are you here able to hear me? So people go to neurologists and they prescribe them the medicines. The gap treatment gap in is a very big problem in India, because it is
Hello.
people with epilepsy have to take medicines for at least for 3 to 4 years, and after their epileptic seizures will get in control. However, people stop the medicine, and because of that, then they get the epileptic seizures again. So as Ketki said, it is controllable disease. If I'm taking medicines and if my seizures are controlled, so I can say my seizures are in control and I can lead a normal life.
I would also like to add.
Yes, Kirti.
I'm sorry.
We would like to know.
Please,
I would
please.
also like to add that, as Yashodhan said, the previous course is for 3 to 4 years, 5 years. But as she rightly said, many a times what people do is they just stop the medicines on their own without consulting the doctor, without going to the neurologist and taking the expert opinion. Like, for a person like me, I have been on medicines for the past 23 years. So it is okay even if you are on medicines throughout your life, like how people take a pill for diabetes. You should just have that mindset when you take a pill for epilepsy as well.
So rightly
Ketki,
highlighted.
I'm so happy that you
Kirti,
and I are
that
here, and both of us are living with controlled epilepsy, right?
Great.
Okay.
It was a very
it's so good
point
that we can
highlighted.
talk openly.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
A very valid point highlighted by both of you, ma'am, that we have to first accept in terms of by
Sophia,
taking
over
a
to you.
pill, I am taking a pill. Yes, yes, that's right. Dr. Purnima Karandikar is having an audio support and she would surely be able to answer our questions. Video is having some issues.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, we would like to know what is epilepsy from a medical standpoint.
Yeah. So, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So, thank you
Yes,
so
yes.
much for
Continue. Please.
making me a part of this, and I really admire the venture that has been taken in hand. And I'm really sorry about today's technical glitch. Yesterday, everything was absolutely smooth when we were doing the trial. Unfortunately, I think that's how life is. Just like we were not
Yes.
prepared for COVID, same thing has happened now. So yeah. So what is epilepsy? I like to explain epilepsy in the context of a smartphone or a smart device. So just like a smartphone, our brain is our original smart device. It is the smart device that we were born with. So if we understand the brain as a smart device, which is running on electricity and blood circulation. So in which case, whenever there is some electrical imbalance in the brain, that time the brain, one area of the brain starts having its own electrical imbalance, and that starts affecting the working of the rest of the brain. So this electrical imbalance which starts on its own inside the brain is called as a seizure, and it is unprovoked, it is autonomous, and it is called as a seizure. So when a person has a tendency to get seizures again and again, then that kind of a situation is known as epilepsy. So the depending upon where the seizure is arising, that is the kind of presentation that person will have. Just like we see the electrical imbalance in the wiring in our rooms, sometimes whenever there used to be external wiring, we could actually see the sparks flying, and they would fly for some time and they would stop. So same kind of a thing happens in the brain. However, the brain is even smarter than the smartphone. It is therefore more complex than the smartphone, and therefore we have different areas in the brain. There are sensory areas and there are motor areas. So when in the motor areas are the areas which control the movements of our body. So when there is electrical imbalance in the movement controlling areas of the brain, that time what the person has is known as a convulsion. So convulsion means अचानक हाथ पैर हिलना, आंखें ऊपर हो जाना, कपड़े में पेशाब हो जाना, this is a generalized convulsion. So this is a type of seizure. So seizure is what happens in the brain. Convulsion is what is seen by the other person. So every seizure will not lead to convulsion. When the seizure is happening in the vision area of the brain, that time the patient will sometimes have sparks in front of the eyes, flashes of color, or some visions from the past or something like that. So that's a visual seizure. So epilepsy is basically a tendency of a person to get repeated attacks of seizures, and the causes can be various. Any injury to the brain can lead to this predisposition of having a seizure. So that is about epilepsy.
Oh, great.
So, Yashoda ma'am, one more question. What are the misconceptions about the epilepsy? Like we heard ki people come with the onion, come with this thing and started treating the person who is having such kind of seizures. So, what do you say about this misconceptions?
Suhas, I would say that I used to get irritated when I used to get seizure and people used to bring the onion. It was really, really irritating. So unfortunately, there are many. Unfortunately, there are many misconceptions about epilepsy. And if someone would get seizure, people run there with onion or chappal and bring it near the nose. And mirgi aa rahi hai, feet aa rahi hai.
Right.
And they just put those things near the nose, and that's the worst smell in the world. So that is absolutely misunderstanding. And there is no relation of onion and chappal with epilepsy. So I request not to all the listeners to never to do like this anytime. And second misconception is it is often linked to the supernatural power. Some parents take their child to Devrushi or Sadhu, and they do some puja, and they feel that it is a black magic also. You may feel that it is 2020 and are people doing like this? So my answer is yes, there are people who are still doing like this. And even educated people also, they take medicine and do these things along with that. So this is not anything related to Devrushi or anything related to God or evil. One more misunderstanding is, see, generally neighbors are advisor. Neighbors give us free advice. So, so neighbors generally say, इसकी शादी कर दो, अच्छा ठीक हो जाएगा. So शादी कर दो is not the solution. Having treatment is a solution. शादी करने से कुछ ठीक नहीं हो जाता है, कुछ मिर्गी के दौरे रुकते नहीं है. And even people also say that we get epileptic seizure because of full moon on new moon, etc. Purnima, Amavasya. So that is also misunderstanding. That is also not true. As Dr. Purnima ma'am just told us, it is a neurological disorder, and we have to go to the doctor. We have to take proper medicine. That is the only one solution for this. But still, unfortunately, people live with so many misunderstandings about this. And our NGO, Samvedana Foundation, we take so many awareness programs for this in the society, and we tell them that these are misunderstandings, so please don't go with these things. And we have to go to the doctor and have to take the proper medicines.
Okay. Great. Yeah, Samvedana Foundation is doing a really great job.
One more,
but I think
there is one more misconception. And it will be very funny that even in the Western countries, this misconception is like widespread. They say carry a key in your pocket or an iron spoon in your pocket.
Something on. Right.
Okay. It seems that this kind of education has to be there at every point, every level of in every country. You should know what is epilepsy and what they should and should not. So over to Priya. Priya.
Yes. Yes. Dr. Purnima, I would like to know you mentioned that there are variety of types or variety of symptoms. So I also wanted to know from you what are the various types of seizures or epilepsy, and if we could get to know a little more about the symptoms and diagnosis. How do we take the diagnosis further?
Yes. So this is a very important question because very often in society people know only about the generalized seizure or what we call as badi mirgi. So epilepsy, I think it must have got discussed now. It is known by many words: fits, convulsions, fevre, apasmar, mirgi. So all these are describing the motor convulsion. So that is what people feel is epilepsy. Mirgi matlab jhatke aana, fevre aana, daure aana. But it all depends on which area of the brain has got affected. So there is an area of the brain known as the thalamus, which is at the almost the geometrical center of the brain. तो थैलेमस से जब मिर्गी शुरू होती है तब उसमें से दौरे जब आते हैं तो at the same time the whole body goes into a convulsion. So at the same moment all possible muscles of the body contract. तो क्या होता है कि आवाज निकलती है, आंखें ऊपर हो जाती है, चेहरे पे विचित्र भाव आ जाते हैं और हाथ दोनों पैर एकदम टाइट हो जाते हैं और थोड़ी देर के बाद वो झटके मारने लगते हैं हाथ और पैर. एंड दिस इज नोन एज अ जनरलाइज्ड सीजर और या फिर बड़ी मिर्गी, मोटी मिर्गी. But this is only if the whole brain is affected at the same given time. But when the focus of the seizure is, suppose it is only in the area of the brain which is controlling my right hand, then what is going to happen is only my right hand will have jerks. And if it spreads, then it will spread to my right face and my right leg. So only the right side of the body will be moving. I will be conscious. So this is known as a simple partial seizure or a focal seizure, where I am conscious, so that is simple, and partial because only one part of the body is moving uncontrollably. And this movement will last for 1.5 minutes and then it will subside on its own. Then if suppose along with this movement, my consciousness is disturbed. So my hand is moving, my face is grimacing and I'm feeling confused. I'm looking here and then I'm going, I'm like confused. There is confusion on my face. My eyes are gazing into nothingness and my blinking is there. My lips are moving in a strange manner. And anyone who is seeing me will feel that I'm behaving so strangely. And if I'm asked after some time, I will say कि क्या हुआ? मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ था. मैं यहीं तो बैठी थी. So this is a complex partial seizure. I did not fall down, only a part of my body was moving and my consciousness had changed. So this is a complex partial seizure. So complex partial seizure, simple partial seizure. Sometimes what happens is that the simple partial seizure or the complex partial seizure फैलते फैलते वो थैलेमस तक पहुंच जाता है जो ब्रेन के सेंटर में है और वहां से पूरे ब्रेन में चला जाता है. So something that starts like a simple partial seizure or a complex partial seizure will quickly, within half a minute, 1 minute, it will become a generalized seizure. So that is what we call as a simple partial seizure with secondary generalization or complex partial seizure with secondary generalization. So these are the common types of seizures that we get in adults. There is another epilepsy which we see usually in young girls, that is known as juvenile myoclonic epilepsy. It is more common in girls. It is also seen in boys. So this usually starts in the teenage and we keep on seeing it till 20-25 years also. In that what happens, हम मराठी में जिसको दचकणं म्हणतो, ज्याला आपण म्हणतो दचकली, चौकना, और in English it is called as startles. So unprovoked startles. Usually हम कब startle हो जाते हैं जब कोई जोर की आवाज आ जाए, कोई पीछे से हमको सरप्राइज करे या दिवाली में पटाखों के समय हम startle हो जाते हैं. So but when there is unprovoked startling, without any reason a person gets startled. और ये धीरे धीरे सुबह, usually early morning, just after waking up, this happens. तो हमारी टेक्स्ट बुक्स में फोटोग्राफ्स है दांत ब्रश करने वाली लड़की का young girl. So the toothpaste and the brush is falling off from her hands because she is getting the startle. या फिर चाय पीने बैठी है, that young girl is sitting with her cup of tea or coffee and suddenly she gets the startle and that cup gets thrown from her hands. So obviously her parents are going to say to her कि ये क्या तुमको इतना भी नहीं समझता सब गिरा दिया. But actually it is a myoclonic jerk which is happening in her. और कई हफ्तों तक ये मायोक्लोनिक जर्क्स होते हैं और फिर अचानक एक दिन उसको जनरलाइज सीजर आ जाता है. So this is juvenile myoclonic epilepsy usually seen in young girls. The beauty about juvenile myoclonic epilepsy is that it can be beautifully treated, wonderfully treated, even with a single tablet. But people have to report to us for that. There is another epilepsy which people do not believe when we tell the parents ki ye bhi epilepsy hai. They do not believe because in that epilepsy there is absolutely no abnormal movement. So that epilepsy is known as absence seizures. और in old days it used to be called petit mal epilepsy या फिर बहुत सबसे छोटी मिर्गी. And it usually is seen in school going children, and as its name suggests, the person is absent from the world for few seconds. So suddenly while talking the child will become blank. That's it. अभी जितना मैंने pause लिया उतना blankness उसका रहता है. Just a few seconds, maybe half a minute, maybe 20 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. But this happens around 35 to 45 times a day. So this is usually seen in school going children. Yes, it is very surprising and it gets missed. Usually parents teachers meetings में the teacher will tell the parent कि आपका बच्चा आजकल स्कूल में ध्यान नहीं देता, वो खिड़की के बाहर देखता रहता है. So why does the teacher feel like that? Because during that absence the child has a staring look on the face. I had a patient where the mother came with her daughter saying कि स्कूल में ध्यान नहीं दे रही थी, मैं इसको सिखा रही हूँ, मेरे तरफ भी ध्यान नहीं देती. So then, and this is also a very easy to treat epilepsy. Unfortunately, awareness being low, usually the child comes to us much late, and even in the OPD, even before the EEG, we can diagnose this epilepsy. So these are the common epilepsies. The confusion epilepsy, the complex partial seizure, is the one which starts in temporal lobes. Julius Caesar and Alexander the Great, their seizures have been documented. They were known to have complex partial seizures which used to be secondarily generalized once in a while. So the complex partial seizure also, patient may not get at the convulsive movement, but the patient will have a confusional period for 1 to 1.5 minutes. The key words are 1 to 1.5 minutes. Rest of the time the person is normal. That is why this is epilepsy and this is not a psychiatric illness. So it lasts only for a short time. Rest of the time the patient is normal. I could be having epilepsy. How will you ever know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Great.
So beautifully explained, Dr. Purnima. It was really helpful. I'm sure a lot of questions from our participants' mind would have got answered right now itself.
Okay.
Thank you. I would like to come to Ketki. Ketki, we would like to know what are your social experience and expectations from the society while living with epilepsy.
The thing is, I'm sorry I missed half of the thing. There was no electricity over here. So I don't know if I'm repeating what the other panelists have said or not. The main thing that a person with epilepsy experiences is the discrimination. Many a times, people just end up stating things which are extremely insulting. Like, you have epilepsy, so you shouldn't be doing certain things. या फिर बचपन से ही they keep telling you, or they mix up epilepsy with other learning disabilities. So just because a person has epilepsy doesn't mean that they have other learning disabilities as well. They can, but that is not a necessity when it comes to epilepsy. Like, as you can see, there are two of us sitting here. So, there are so many cases that Yashoda ma'am will also tell you. There are cases which come to me as well, wherein there are people jinka IQ is absolutely normal. They can have a normal education as well, but the parents did not take them to school. They just completely stopped their education.
Oh my
There are so
God.
many instances where, like, yeah, faced discrimination when in corporate sector as well,
Mhm.
their jobs because they have epilepsy. They are not sent on a field. They are not sent on a field trip because, like, जब भी कभी कोई भी field. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Go ahead, Kirti. We are able to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
okay.
audible.
Please
So,
go.
okay. So, जब भी कभी there is a field project going on, so many of them are not sent on that because it so happens कि boss ही खुद कह देते हैं कि like नहीं अगर field पे आपको seizure आ जाएगा तो इससे अच्छा है किसी और को भेजो. And invariably उनका promotion उतना होता है नहीं,
There is
which is also detrimental when it comes to their job profile because they don't get promoted. There are so many times that a person is rejected right then and there by the HR department itself before even going for their first interview because they write epilepsy. उनका तो पहला interview भी नहीं होता. They are not even given a chance to do that. So there are so many people out there who are facing this problem on a daily basis that they are capable, they have the merit to do it, but they are discriminated against. They are not given the same equal opportunities by the society. So I would personally, and I'm sure everyone on this panel is going to say the same thing, which is exactly why I'm so thankful that NHRD, again, I'm thanking NHRD Pune for doing this, because people need to be aware of what epilepsy is. Because there are so many misconceptions, because there is lack of awareness when it comes to things, and humans are afraid of anything that is unknown. हमें नहीं पता भाई हम डर रहे तुम भाग ही जाओ इधर से. That sort of, unfortunately, that thing happens. So awareness, lack of awareness is one of the reasons why there are so many people who are unemployed because they have epilepsy. So as a person who has epilepsy, I would just request you to give those people a chance.
Opportunity.
If they fall short of their merit, if they can't perform, if they can't deliver something, then it's a different story. But आप उनका merit देखे बिना ही you are firing them. That is not done.
Correct. That's right.
Ketki,
Absolutely
what is
right.
your experience? Ketki, what is your experience in your life?
Yes. Oh, my experience, the entire Maharashtra knows. So I was fired from a show because I have epilepsy and I got seizures on the set. So I have been doing videos regarding epilepsy and spreading awareness for the last 3 years now. But even though the producers knew I have epilepsy, they still cast me. Like there are so many nice people out there, but with 10 nice people, there is one bad person, right? मराठी में जैसे कहते हैं एक नशे मुंबई पेटे तो So yeah, I was sacked as well from the show unceremoniously. But I at least have the power, I have the confidence to face and fight against this discrimination. But there are so many people out there who...
Very nice, yes. Thank you.
But there are so many people out there who don't have that self-confidence, who don't have that power, who don't have that backing. There are so many people out there, जिनकी family उनको, they try to shut them up.
Support.
We are lucky to have a backing. There are so many out there who don't have that backing. And as a society, we need to back them up.
Ketki, as a society will definitely back, but as you, I think you can be a very energetic and you say a powerful backup for all these people coming days also.
Yes.
Yes, I'm trying to be.
Yeah. So I think
I will add
There are so many times that I am sending them to Samvedana as well. There are so many cases I have already,
Yes.
Great. This
I
is
will
what we
add
need.
into that as Kelki said, that there are people who don't have that the courage to tell in the society, or who have that fear to tell in the societies. So we always tell them, say, they should think that what will happen, worst come to worst. Jada se jada kya hoga? So if we think of the worst thing, then even the small thing will happen. It's okay. We can handle those small things. So we try to encourage those people that it's okay. जो कुछ होगा वो होगा, but face करो. And घर में बैठ के मत रहो. जो एपिलेप्सी है तो फिर क्या होगा? हमें तो करना ही चाहिए, हमें तो बाहर आना ही चाहिए.
Very true, Shada ma'am. So if this identified in the early age, do we have a special education or school for these kind of students? What is your experience? How they are treated?
Actually, we don't need a special school for people with epilepsy, because they are normal and they have to mix up in the normal school. They have to go to the normal school. If their IQ is normal, they have to go to normal school, and others, they should mix up in other students. So we don't need the separate school for them, I believe. And because if a child have a normal IQ, then parents should put him in a normal school. What I believe that parents should tell in the school about his or her epilepsy. Parents, they try to do it, but unfortunately there are schools who deny the admission if the parent would tell the truth. So many parents try to hide that they do not tell that their child has epilepsy, which is actually wrong, but they do it for their child's good. So they try to get the admission, and of course, I will tell you that there are still many schools which are supportive, because nowadays the law also has changed. In earlier days, in my childhood, schools used to deny the admission, but now by law schools cannot. Even if the person's IQ is less, they cannot deny, and person with epilepsy has rights to get the education. So we don't need the separate schools. But you asked about the parents' roles as well, right, Suhas? So
Yeah, right.
parents, yeah, parenting is very important for people with epilepsy. This is very important point, and because when child has epilepsy, it always depends how parents are treating him or her. Treating, I mean, at home. So they have to encourage their child. They have to encourage their child that you are normal and you can do this. You can do this. You can play this. You can do that. So I will just tell you my example. When I had epilepsy, and my school was 2.5 kilometers from our home, and I was fond of cycling. So my parents, they allowed me to go by bicycle. So from till 10th standard, I used my bicycle to go to school and to come back, and my friend was always with me, my friend and my sister. And if I got a seizure, they used to stop for me. We used to stop for 10 minutes and then we used to start. So this is very good example, because my parents, they never discouraged me to do the bicycling. They encouraged me to do all these things. Even after the school, I used to go to music class, I used to go to dance class, etc. So nowadays when I'm working as a counselor, so many parents come to us and they ask that should they allow their daughter for dance, to go for music. So we tell them, of course they should allow, they should encourage these things, because people with so many people with epilepsy, they have this art thing more than this other things. They are very good artists, so their parents should encourage for that. That's why parents plays a very important role. At the same time, I will again tell you my example. Sometimes I used to tell my mother, okay, I will not go to school today, please. I will get epileptic seizure. But she never allowed me to do that. She treated me as a normal child itself, again for that point also. Because the rules at home were same for me and my sister. So these things I always tell to the parents who come for counseling, that your child shouldn't get pampered. that don't do this, don't do that. The whatever the rules are at your home should be the same for the person with epilepsy, for your child with epilepsy. So the child feels that I am normal, and we should give some responsibilities also. So the parenting is very important for all these things. And some parents also have this some negativity that ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा, ये मत करो, वो मत करो, स्कूल मत जाओ, ये मत करो. So and these are educated parents, हाँ, ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि ये सब रूरल एरिया में होता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. So that's why we take in Samvedana Foundation, we take special meetings for parents, monthly meetings. We call parents and we tell them to share their problems. We tell them what can they do and what are good and what are bad. Even we call neurologists to talk there. We call psychologists to talk there. So to show the parents there are right directions for their parenting.
Yashoda, actually, what you said is perfectly right. Parenting is very important in this case. But I heard in few societies, a child is having epilepsy, they are not accepted by the other childrens, and parents, they are not able to, give a proper narration to the other कि इस normal person, a normal child है, इसके साथ भी खेल सकते हो आप.
Correct.
वैसा नहीं होता है, तो इसके लिए अब क्या कर सकते, पेरेंट को किस तरह उसको ट्रीट करना चाहिए?
Subhas, actually, we need a huge awareness program in India.
Okay.
But yeah, coming to the point, we generally tell that if your child has epilepsy and if he's not getting good treatment from the society, then we are ready, our NGO is ready to go there and take a small awareness program. But of course, it is not possible everywhere. But parents should tell openly about their child's epilepsy in their society. They should tell that, how he or she is normal, how only this seizure is there. Otherwise, other children should play with him or her. So parents have to tell openly these things, I believe. Ketki, would you like to add in this?
Yeah.
Most importantly, what happens is whatever Yashoda ma'am said is on point. The only thing that I would like to add is the child, yes, friends, approval, validation, everything, the circle is very important. That is true for the social development. But more than anything else, the parents' support is very important. अगर parents उनके पीछे खड़े हैं, so the child अपने आप gets the confidence to face everyone else, the bullying, the ragging, everything. The confidence just comes from within. More or less, many a times what happens is the parents don't give that confidence to the child. So they succumb to the bullying and ragging. Well, if you go on to see, don't play with him or her, has been happening for ages. Like, Chashme said, double battery, single power, and ye to matlab, like, people used to be ragged over their spectacles previously. So this concept is always going to be there. But what the child needs is the parent support more than anything. Once they have that support, I think, Yashoda ma'am, would you like to add on to it in a better way than me?
No, you have said correctly. And actually, support group also helps for these things, for children also and for parents also. Because when they come to the support group, they realize that I am not alone or we are not alone. There are so many people like us who are going through the same boat. So support group helps for all these situations very nicely.
So true.
Great. So,
Great.
over to Priya.
Yeah, as she rightly
Yes.
said, most of the time,
Yes, Kirti, go ahead.
as she rightly said, most of the times what happens is they think we are all alone in this world who are going through
Yeah.
whatever we are going through. So this, as she rightly said, you are not alone in this. We are all in this together. Is a very important factor.
So
Still, it
true.
happens with everybody's life at some time of the age, na? Everybody feels like that I am alone now, nobody's with me, what to do. It's like a normal thing now.
It is not only about epilepsy, it's about anything.
It's
Yeah,
for
yeah.
anybody. So true. But it is a very
Okay.
important and valid point that we have to support, or we have to give that confidence that we are with you in any given
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
So true.
Yeah.
Yes.
On this note, I would like to involve Leena ma'am, Leena Rajan. Ma'am, first and foremost, thank you so much to you and Bajaj team for contributing for a social cause. Bajaj is contributing for epilepsy and is also funding to Samvedana Foundation. It is very important and valid point, and the efforts and the thought is really appreciated on behalf of NHRD, and I'm sure all participants would agree with me. The question I would like to ask Leena ma'am is, how does corporate world look at patients with epilepsy?
I think some connection problem again from her side.
Okay, okay, fair. We'll wait for, we'll park this question. We will move on. I think Suhas, you can take it to, Dr. Purnima, I would like to know from you that since we have discussed that employment opportunities should be given. I completely agree with Keti that yes, we should have equality with these employees and they should be given a chance on their merit basis. But as
Yes.
an HR or as an organization, if an employee gets a seizure during working hours, and if it's the first seizure, what should we do, or what as an organization or HR or a person next to him should do?
Okay, right. So when a person gets the convulsion, so seizure, as I said, is something that happens in the brain. So when the activity occurs on the body and it is visible from outside, so that can be very frightening for the observer. So it doesn't matter whether it is that person's first seizure or 100th seizure. That doesn't
Okay.
matter. So what to do when we see someone getting a convulsion in front of us? Now, as I told you that there are different types of seizures, and therefore the convulsion of each person will not be the same. So let us take the epilepsy of absence epilepsy or absence seizures, which are happening to a school going child. So there that child is being absent for a few seconds, and this is happening around 35 to 45 times a day. Now here nothing has to be done immediately. The child has to be subsequently taken to the doctor as early as possible. It has to be diagnosed and the treatment has to be started. Now let us come to myoclonic epilepsy. So when that girl is jerking like that with objects falling off from her hands and everything, so if she is just having a jerk, and if the parents have noticed that she is having a jerk, there is nothing to panic immediately. She has to be taken to the doctor. Her EEG has to be done. EEG is totally diagnostic. Treatment is to be started. If a person has got a simple partial seizure, that means only the hand and the face and the head are moving, and the patient is conscious. So patient is sitting in a chair, has not fallen down. He is convulsing in his position, in his or her position, and is sitting also. That person is sitting in that position, and posture has not changed except for that movement. So this is a simple partial seizure in that person. So here again, you just have to wait for that episode to go away. Okay. Now considering that the person is having a complex partial seizure. So I had a receptionist who used to have these once in 2 weeks or so. So she used to get the aura. So complex partial seizure people will usually get an aura. So पूर्वाभास, that is known in Marathi की पूर्वाभास. त्याचा आभास होतो, seizure यायच्या पूर्वीच आभास होतो. So पूर्वाभास. So that is a very good thing, because then that person can prepare. कि अब मुझे आ सकता है, so let me go to a safe place. So that my receptionist used to come into my chamber and she used to tell me, ताई मला बहुतेक त्रास होणार आहे. Then what would I do? I used to just make her sit on a chair. I used to also sometimes even continue my work. Sometimes I used to look at her just to make sure कि it is not going into secondary generalization. So usually she used to just have grunting noises, looking here and there across the room, confusion. And then after some time she used to do and it used to settle down. And then after some time she used to ask me की मला झालं होतं का ते सगळं आता परत. And I used to tell her की हो झालं होतं, जा तू परत कामावर जा तुझ्या. So it is as simple as that. Okay. And she used to not go home. She used to go back to her work and do her work. So that is a complex partial seizure in a known patient. Okay. If this is for some reason happening for the first time ever, then possibly after everything settles down, if the person has got diabetes, you should see their sugar also, because hypoglycemia can look exactly like this. So that will have to be done. Now the biggest question arises ki what if a person has that badi mirgi in front of you? So why are we concerned about the badi mirgi? Because the patient loses full control of his full body, is not even conscious, and then that person is likely to harm himself or herself. So if even right now talking to you, I get a generalized seizure, I will bang against my table, I will fall on the floor and injure myself, I will bite my tongue, I might swallow my spit. So all this can happen, and I might choke on my spit. So the worry in a big seizure is that what if that person harms himself or herself? So now comes the responsibility of the people who are around that person. So what we have to do is that we have to see to it. So do's and don'ts are very simple if we understand the nature of the seizure. फोन जब हैंग होता है तब हम उसको जूते चप्पल नहीं सुंगाते. फोन जब हैंग हो जाता है ना, we don't search for lime and onion and chappal when our phone is hung. What do? We just restart it. We don't even start shouting. We don't gather a crowd. Nothing. We just switch off the phone and we switch it on. So human beings are very lucky that हमारा जो thalamus है, thalamus में एक auto switch off का button दिया हुआ है. So what happens that after the generalized seizure, the thalamus switches the brain off, and after some time it reboots itself. So how much time does it take? It takes around 3 to 5 minutes for this whole rebooting to occur. And इसी दौरान वो जो सब समझने वाला आदमी है आसपास, वो तब वो चमड़े की चप्पल लाया हुआ होता है और वो उसने सुंगाई हुई होती है चप्पल, and then the news goes around in the city कि चप्पल सुंगाई और that person set up. And this is how the myth propagates. One of my now I would like to again say that WHO has said that people with epilepsy, but when a doctor says patient, it is with a lot of fondness. It is like how a parent will talk about a child. So one of my persons with epilepsy, he even had people squeezing lime in his eyes when he had a seizure. So actually this amounts to abuse. This actually amounts to physical abuse. When you are sungawing that chappal, that all that dirt from all over, and now we see spitting and what all the aerosols and droplets can cause. So all that the person is inhaling, that person who is unconscious. So actually when that person wakes up and sees all frightened people and a chappal at his nose, it is horrible. I wouldn't want this to happen to me. So what do we need to do? We need to protect the person from harming himself or herself. And the most important thing to do is to turn him or her on a side. And mind you, this is only for that badi mirgi. When both hands, both legs are moving, unconsciousness, frothing at the mouth, eyes are uprolled, when that big frightening thing is happening, actually this is, the fear is because we have never seen it before. But we do not, the do's are very less. So I'm going to talk about the do's first. So what we have to do is remove harmful objects, make the person lie down. Usually he or she will fall down. So turn that person over on a side. Why? Because we don't want the spit to go back into that person's lungs. Spit should go in the stomach or it should come out. But in that state, that spit can get aspirated. Aspirated मतलब जो food pipe में जानी चाहिए चीज वो wind pipe में जाएगी. So to prevent aspiration, we have to turn the person on a side. जो side पे turn करने के बाद एक हाथ शरीर के नीचे रहेगा और एक हाथ ऊपर रहेगा. तो ऊपर वाले हाथ को उसके सिर के नीचे लगा दो और ऊपर वाले पैर को मोड़ दो if possible, if his body movement allows, so that the position gets locked, so that by the moment he will not go back to lying on his back. When he lies on his back, his tongue will fall back and his spit will go back and he might choke on his tongue or his spit. So we don't want that. So the do's are very simple. It takes only one person to help the person who is seizing. और सिर जमीन से टकराएगा और चोट लगेगी, वो नहीं होना चाहिए. इसलिए कोई भी सॉफ्ट चीज, दुपट्टा, नैपकिन, सॉफ्ट बैग, एनीथिंग, you put it under that person's head so that the head doesn't bang on the ground. So the only two things need to be done. recovery position, and something soft under the head. What is not to be done is a very long list. No juta, no chappal, no onion, no lime, lemon, nothing. Nothing to be put in the person's teeth.
Mouth.
This is another myth की दात भिज गए हैं, दातखिळ उघडा, दातखिळ उघडली की झटका थांबेल. पण तसं नाहीये. जेव्हा झटका थांबतो तेव्हाच दातखिळ उघडता येते. वन ऑफ द स्ट्रॉंगेस्ट मसल्स इन द बॉडी आर द च्युइंग मसल्स. म्हणून तो कुत्रा चावतो ना तेव्हा कपडे फाटतात, पण तो कुत्रा तोंड नाही उघडत. That is because the masseters, the chewing muscles, are one of the strongest muscles in the body, and the person who is seizing 100% muscles are contracting. हमारे सिर्फ 30% काम कर रहे हैं, उसके 100% काम कर रहे हैं. So you cannot open the mouth with your fingers. We have had caregivers with chewed off fingers because of this. And if you put a spoon or something inside the mouth, then you are damaging that person's tongue. So nothing needs to be done for the clenched teeth. They are going to open on their own. And anyway, we are breathing through the nose. So when you turn the patient on the side, when you turn that person on the side, the airway is going to open up by itself. So you don't have to worry कि दांत ऐसे हो गए तो कहाँ से सांस लेगा. सांस वो नाक से लेगा, वो मुंह से नहीं लेगा. So nothing to be put in the mouth, and you should not try to hold the person down. Because as I said, his or her 100% muscles are contracting, तुम्हारे सिर्फ 30% contract हो रहे हैं. So you might injure that person while trying to stop that convulsion. So only two things to be done. Yes, Ketki.
Yes.
So as doctor rightly said, that put them on the side. But many a times what happens is, as she said, hold the arm and the leg. But many a times you are unable to do so. So what can be done is, side से एक बार उसको रख दिया, just sit beside them and just put your arm around them. So वो आपके हाथ और आपके पीठ के पीछे लग जाए. So that is a मतलब out of experience I'm saying, people, like I have told people to do that for me, because I always end up getting, as a doctor said, a badi mirgi. So that is another substitute option to lock the person. But
Correct.
like as she said, don't push them down. Just slightly lock the movement so as to
Yes.
they don't roll on their stomach and they don't roll back in their back.
Correct. Very true.
So true.
Yes.
I will add one more thing in that. I will add some psychological aspect, that when I used to get the seizure, and my mother just used to hold me, that it's okay, I'm with you. So that it's okay, I'm with you is very important sentence. That even if something is happening to unknown person, and if you are taking care of him or her, you just have to go there and you have to say with love that it's okay, I'm with you, don't worry at all, I will take care of everything. This sentence, that person feels relaxed from inside. Like what happens otherwise, if no one is saying this, then that person may get the second seizure because of the fear. Where I am, what is happening, am I on the road, what will these people do? So this fear, he or she may get the second seizure. So this thing is very important. Just go there and don't worry, I'm with you. This sentence is important.
So true.
Okay.
Yes, Kirti.
People keep on asking questions as well. Ab kya karu? Or they, like, you know, they try to talk to you.
But still, yeah.
Another point I would just
I'm
like to
there.
make as a doctor. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, so it is very important that the observers do not feel afraid, because when you are afraid, you cannot observe anymore. And
Correct.
as doctors, we need very precise description of the episode, because the precise description sometimes gives us a very good diagnosis, and it can help us start a better treatment earlier. So a person who is feeling afraid will not be able to observe. पहले कौन सा हाथ हिल रहा था, बेहोशी शुरुआत से थी या पहले थोड़ी देर होश में था. All these questions we have to ask. So if the observers are feeling panic and everything, in fact witnesses, let us say, if they are
Yes.
panicking, then they are not observing, and we need a good description. This is a technical aspect of that. So if anyone who is there, and a crowd should not be there around that person, क्योंकि फिर oxygen कम मिलेगा, हवा नहीं आएगी. So other people, it's not a show going on. So as I said, it requires only one person to help that seizing person. It doesn't require a crowd. Other people should stay at a distance. And when should the person be taken to hospital? If one convulsion occurs, one seizure occurs, and without regaining consciousness, the second convulsion occurs. So that is, so if it's a cluster of seizures, so एक साथ आने वाले 2-3 झटके, then the person needs to be taken to the hospital on that day itself. And if repetitively this is happening, then that is known as a status epilepticus. If the patient becomes conscious in between and immediately has another seizure, that's a cluster of seizure. If without regaining consciousness another convulsion occurs, then that is something called as a status.
Okay. As Dr. Purnima rightly said, I will tell you one of my experience that we tell generally to the parents that if it is possible, then shoot it with the smartphone. If mother is taking care, then father can do this, because doctor needs to see this halchal, what exactly is happening. So one day, one mother was telling me that I have shooted my son's seizure, and she was showing me. So I was shocked to see that, because when her son was getting epileptic seizure, she was beating him with a jhadu on his head. So I said, what is this? So she said, we are doing this for last 10 years. So this can happen in educated families. So I was really shocked that why were you beating him? So she said, no, हमें ऐसा पहले ही बताया था किसी ने, तो हम हमेशा करते ही हैं. So ये भी हो जाता है, and that's why we need this awareness.
So true. So very importantly highlighted that whether it is with care or whether it is with fear, first and foremost, the person next to him has to handle the situation in a better way. You cannot be too careful about it, or you cannot be too fearful about it, if we have to put it in right words. Yes, that's really great insight, I would say. Leena ma'am, yes, Ketki, you wanted to add something?
Yeah.
As doctor and Yashoda ma'am was saying, whenever you do put them on the side, the main problem is people, because I have experienced it myself. So many times what happens is the first person of contact ends up holding your joint, and that ends up like it becomes very difficult for us who are experiencing the seizure at that point of time to move, which restricts. So rather than holding the joint, hold the muscles and turn the person. That is the only thing that I would like to add.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Very important input.
I mean, the joint can be dislocated. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they
There's
hold
a
on to
force
ankles,
from the person also,
knees,
right?
rather than doing that. I'm sorry?
There is a force from the person who is getting the seizure at that point of time, right? There is a force from him also, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So it can,
because you're already jerking at that point of time, and if I'm jerking and someone holds my elbow and tries to turn me, then it's not only restricting, because anyway my body is going stiff.
Correct.
It's going extremely stiff, and then it becomes like your joint may dislocate, or anything can happen at that point of time, which is not in our control. So rather than doing this, just hold on to the muscles. Even when it comes to your legs, hold on to the calf or the thigh. Don't hold on to the ankle, the foot, or the knee. That is the only thing.
Correct.
Very important. Very important.
Very important, yes.
Yeah. Do we have Leena ma'am? Hello. Are you able to hear?
Hello. Yes, Priya, I'm there.
Yeah.
Happy to be there.
Hi ma'am, how are you?
I'm good. Glad to be reconnected.
Yeah, so first and foremost, we would like to thank you and the Bajaj team for contributing for the social cause. It is really appreciated, and Bajaj also contributes to Samvedana Foundation. A very appreciated point, because it is not a well-known topic or people are still not aware about it. And at this
True.
note, Bajaj is taking this initiative. So really congratulations to you and the entire Bajaj team, ma'am.
Yeah.
Neela ma'am, I
Thank
would
you
like
so
to know
much.
from you. Yes, yes. I would like to know from you, how does the corporate world look at patients with epilepsy? What are your views on it?
So as a group CSR, and as a group CSR that supports health and education in a big way. So this
Mm-hmm.
particular cause falls under our thematic mandate of healthcare. And what
Mm-hmm.
we believe is that people with epilepsy, they need access to treatment, and many can be potentially seizure free with a surgery, but
Right.
reality is that the annual capacity in India is just for a very few numbers. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore what we have done is we have actively kind of come out and supported an epilepsy center at DMH. It's an exclusive center for pediatric, catering to pediatric epilepsy cases. So that's
Okay.
something that we have come out with. And the secondly,
Mm-hmm.
what we also believe is that many poor patients who cannot afford to buy or afford a medical care
Medicine.
uh, have to be supported, and therefore this project with Samvedna that we supported.
Great.
Additionally, we also feel that apart from people with epilepsy, we also need to look at the problem holistically. It's not
Mm-hmm.
just a medical problem. So when a family has a person with epilepsy, it impacts the entire family, socially,
So true.
mentally, and financially. And we
Absolutely.
really hope that our support to the cause will alleviate some pain of the family members also.
So true. So true.
Yeah. So and
Ma'am,
when
what do you?
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. And we don't kind of actively, at least I have not come across a single person who said that, they are asked to declare their health status specifically with
Yes.
regard to
Yes.
epilepsy. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Right.
That's
That's right.
that's not,
What do
yeah.
you? Correct. What do you think can be done to make the workplace more supportive? Since you are working very
Yeah.
closely with this initiative, what can be done so
Sure.
that it helps other organizations?
So I think awareness is, a very important factor in companies that can create opportunities for, garnering a lot of support towards this cause. Because if I'm aware as a person and I'm working in a company, then I
Mm-hmm.
can help support someone who has epilepsy. And if I myself do not know about the greater nuances of the problem, then I might not be in a position to help anybody. So, firstly, knowing that, knowing the nitty gritties, like we've shared in the webinar so far, I mean, in a very
So
detailed
true.
manner. So, creating those spaces within organizations where, people become more, they build their knowledge, and to a certain extent, probably the medical people certain basic skills in handling people with epilepsy in case of a seizure episodes that occur. So that
True.
will go a long way in creating that enabling environment in workplaces. And so giving opportunities to staff in terms of visiting organizations like Samvedna or the Dinanath
Mm-hmm.
Mangeshkar Hospital, as part of the employee volunteering platform,
Mm-hmm.
all can really help build a greater advocacy awareness towards the cause.
True. True.
So it's not
Absolutely.
just a financial support, but I think more in terms of looking at it as a social
Mm.
issue where a lot of support has to be created in terms of reaching out to more and more people with this. And also
Right.
within companies, if I'm suppose I as a person, I have epilepsy and I have this fear, like Yashoda ma'am said in the earlier part of her talk. And but it's important for me to kind of share my problem with at least one person in that organization. May not be my superior or boss, who I may not be comfortable sharing this information with. I mean, in due course of time, I would want that ideal environment where, I'm able to kind of, share that. But in case that cannot happen, but at least, try and share this with somebody who can support me when in need.
So true.
That I think
Okay.
will go a long way in building support for the cause.
Absolutely.
Can I add a little bit here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So I have a few people with epilepsy who are taking treatment from me and are working in multinationals. And we have seen them like our own kids, grow up in front of us. They are coming to us since they were in 8th grade, and then they graduate in front of us and become engineers and accountants and everything. So we have been seeing them. We have been doing their hand holding through that, even that self-esteem journey. So though in an ideal environment, in many good practicing multinational companies, epilepsy is not an issue when a job is being given. But this was discussed even in our national conference, that the fact is that many companies with maybe not that much of a strict protocol for hiring and everything, if the person says that he or she has epilepsy, then they are looked down upon कि फिर ये काम कैसे करेगा, अरे इसको तो दिमाग की बीमारी है, that kind of a thing. So we usually tell them that they should declare about their epilepsy only after they are selected and their health checkup is going on. But they should declare it because they need enough sleep. Everybody needs enough sleep, but more so a person with epilepsy needs a good refreshing sleep. Even a person with migraine needs good sleep. Even a high functioning pilot also needs enough sleep. So everybody needs good sleep, refreshing sleep, but this person is definitely going to need it. So when that person gets night shift, then she has to be careful. So all these things are there. So we usually tell them कि ये अपने health checkup में declare करना तुम. Very often they have this conflict ki, am I hiding this and that? But that job interview has to be on core skills, and then health checkup they can declare this. That is what we recommend. Secondly, as Ketki pointed out, the inner qualities are definitely more important. The parental support, that very, very correctly. In fact, I really like the way she put that ki even chashma hoga to bhi chidate hai dost school mein or college mein. तो epilepsy तो बड़ी बात है. तो so parenting, yes, has to be a very healthy conscious parenting. Nowadays everybody is healthy conscious parents, most of us are. So working on the self-esteem of that person is extremely important, and through our foundation we are working on skill development and emotional fitness. And in my experience in Nagpur, I was heading the support group over there, and because we say that 80% of epilepsy people can live a normal life, those 80% people do not want to attend programs for epilepsy people. They want to attend programs for normal people, because we are saying they can live a normal life. So usually the workshops we have for emotional fitness, every workshop I used to have one of my people with epilepsy attending with everybody else. That is what they want. And skill development for emotional fitness, everybody needs it, but I feel that self-esteem needs to be worked on upon with this. And if we, the very simple thing कि दौरा आने पे लोगों ने क्या करना चाहिए, that itself is going to go a long way in working on the self-esteem. Because imagine being unconscious and waking up to find a lot of frightened faces around you. That's going to make you feel कि मैंने क्या किया ऐसा कि इतने लोग डर गए. So that is how it works. So awareness, yes, that is definitely important. And if we can have abroad, teachers are trained to manage that epileptic seizure. We are still a long way. So similarly, and now no longer in India, we are struggling just with pediatric epilepsy. Geriatric epilepsy is a massive chunk of my patient population. So I would say 1/3. If 1/3 are pediatric, 1/3 are geriatric, above 60 years, first seizure. First seizure after the age of 60 years. So that after 60, yes, first seizure. And then that patient gets second, third, and then is labeled as epilepsy. So that is also there. Yeah.
Doctor, I wanted to know from you in terms of the medicines or medication, Is brain surgery the only option, or there are a series of options and then brain surgery comes into picture?
Brain surgery comes into picture much later. Around 80% people will get controlled with the right choice of medications. Previously, around 15-20 years ago, we had very less number of medications, and many of the old medications we kind of stumbled upon them. Ki, acha, oh, this works in epilepsy also. But now we are designing drugs for epilepsy. We are coming up with newer and newer drugs for epilepsy, which have lesser and lesser side effects. So now, as I told you, juvenile myoclonic epilepsy or absence seizures, they are very beautifully controlled, sometimes with only a single drug. So, most of our patients can get controlled with medications. Those who do not, then we call them refractory epilepsy. More than 2 drugs are being used and more than 2 years are over and still patient is getting seizure. So in adults, that is called as a refractory epilepsy, and then we think of surgery for them. In pediatrics, it is not like that. We start thinking of surgery much earlier. So depending upon the age group, the cause of epilepsy is different, and therefore in a pediatric age group, these days surgery is thought about much earlier. In adults, however, you think of surgery only for refractory cases. That means where more than 2 drugs are being used for more than 2 years and still patient is getting seizures. That is where we think of surgery. And all those refractory patients, the refractory epilepsy, then they are called as patients. So those patients are all of them are not surgically treatable. So if the person has focus on the right side also and the left side also, frontal lobe also, back side lobe also, occipital lobe also, then so many foci we cannot remove with surgery. And therefore selected patients amongst the adult age group will be amenable for surgery. But more and more devices will come up. There is vagal nerve stimulation also, and so many other things are coming up. And I'm sure as time goes on, we will think of many other, some other discoveries will also happen. Julius Caesar, there was, all this was not there, but he was there. He had gone to conquer the world. So had Alexander. So, so it is 80-20 is there. So 80% live a normal life, and 20% then they are the ones who struggle with it. Yeah, Ketki is raising her hand.
Ketki.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to add on to that. What happens is, yes, we lead a normal life, but what happens after that is, as doctor said, people with epilepsy don't go for the support meetings because they think they are normal now. That means there is a thin line between being absolutely normal and having epilepsy and still being normal. So for people like us who are living the normal life, we have to keep this in mind, that you are not 100% normal. You cannot do every single thing that a normal person can do. So most of the time what happens is they end up thinking that they are absolutely normal and they can do anything and everything. So you have to know your limitations. Every human has limitations. You have to understand your limits and stay within those limits. Like stretch those limits धीरे-धीरे. Not just directly Everest चढ़ लिए जाते हैं, ऐसा मत करो.
Correct.
Like, you know, you have to
accept the
understand
fact.
that much.
You're rightly said,
Except epilepsy.
you rightly said about the limitations. You rightly said about the limitations, and every normal person, you rightly said about the limitation, and every normal person should also know his limitations at the same time. Okay. So considering these limitations, I have a question to Yashoda ma'am. A person with PWE can lead a normal life, and can he get married also and enjoy his married life also?
Yes, I have epilepsy and I'm married. Yes.
Short and sweet, yes.
Yes. Answer is yes. Yes, of course. Person with epilepsy can get married, but of course we suggest them to go to the neurologist and to discuss this point with doctor also, and then take the decision. Because if a person is getting so many seizures in a month, then he or she should not think immediately to get married. First, he has to work on his seizures. first on the treatment, and then he or she should think of his marriage. I would like to share that the Samvedana Foundation, our NGO, is doing a very big project on this topic, and that is marriage bureau for people with epilepsy. We have started this 12 years back because we saw that it is very difficult for people with epilepsy to go through the arranged marriage system because we know that in Indian arranged marriage system, it is difficult for normal people as well. It is difficult for very well educated people as well. So if someone would tell the truth that I have epilepsy or I had epilepsy and I'm on medication, then of course no one will get no one will be ready to marry to him. So that's why we started this epilepsy marriage bureau. This was my colleague, Mr. Phatak's brainchild, and we started this in 2008. And we went to all the neurologists to be discussed on this point. And then I wrote an article in newspaper that we are starting epilepsy marriage bureau. Then we got so many phone calls that day from all over Maharashtra. And then more than 150 people registered for that. Then we thought that what can we do now? Then we arranged epilepsy matrimonial meet. That also we put a very big banner in Pune city, and
Very nice.
epilepsy matrimonial meet. And till date we have arranged 7 matrimonial meets in Pune, and people from all over Maharashtra, not only from Maharashtra but from other states also come for this matrimonial meet, because this is probably the only one in India. Now, Purnima madam also has started in Nagpur.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Yashoda ma'am, I'm cutting you. Probably nahi, it is the only foundation which is doing this. I would like to add to that. Because we have researched and Yashoda ma'am is the only person who is doing this.
Okay, so we started this, and I'm so happy to share that till date, from this activity, we have arranged 29 marriages, and all of them, brides and grooms, are living with controlled epilepsy. And they have normal babies also.
Okay.
We are
So
really
ऐसा
happy
कुछ
to
हुआ है
know,
कि
know the contribution.
यशोदा मैम, ऐसा कुछ हुआ है कि शादी
Yes,
के बाद
Suhas.
एपिलेप्सी का कुछ परसेंटेज कम हुआ है, सर जाने का परसेंटेज
ऐसा
कम
हुआ
हुआ
है, सीरियसली हो गया है, सीरियसली हुआ है, बिकॉज उन्होंने बाद में वो जनरली व्हाट वी डू टू द एपिलेप्सी मैट्रिमोनियल मीट, वी कॉल द कपल्स who have married earlier. So we invite them for the sharing, that how are your experiences here. So they always share that they had some seizures with the fear or with that uncomfortableness, or they had so much of tension of ये मैरिज, ये शादी कैसे तय होगी, हमारी शादी, हमारा क्या होगा आगे, और पेरेंट्स भी हमेशा डिस्कस करते थे इसका क्या होगा. तो ये सब सीजर्स थे वो तो नहीं आते हैं. and they also said that they both of them have experienced epilepsy, so they feel very relaxed. In fact, they both of them are taking medicines, so they take it together. And if husband or wife, if someone of get them a seizure after marriage sometime, then their partner takes a very good care of him or her.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. It's really nice sharing, and I think who are the listeners today? Yeah, Kirti, you want to add something, please?
There is also a myth, not only in India, but everywhere in the world, that people think epilepsy is contagious. Unfortunately, that is a myth. And I'm sure Yashoda ma'am must have got these questions. I'm sure Dr. Purnima also must have got these questions, because even I got these questions. Whether if we have sex with a person with epilepsy, will we get epilepsy? Is a very common question, unfortunately. So it's not AIDS. It's not like you do not attract epilepsy or you do not get epilepsy because of someone else. Like hereditary is one of the rare types of epilepsy, but no, you do not get epilepsy or acquire it because your partner has it.
Yeah.
So true.
Very true, and this needs highlighting definitely. that it is not contagious.
Okay. I have a question to doctor actually.
Yes,
I want to ask.
Yeah.
People used to go for different streams like Ayurveda, homeopathy, and other things. So what you suggest is the allopathy is the only thing, only medicine available for this epilepsy, or people can use
I
other
would
streams also?
rather not call it as allopathy. I would call it as modern medicine. And now modern medicine, if you see, modern medicine hijacks all the medicines which work. Okay.
Oh.
So if there was something working in Ayurvedic and homeopathy, modern medicine would have adopted it as its own. For example, this Chinese herb was acting against malaria. Now that is the medicine in modern medicine. So if something was definitely working, it would be available commercially under modern medicine. Many of the medicines for what is called as allopathy, they have digitalis has come from a herb only. So allopathy doesn't mean something synthesized in the lab all the time. So modern medicine is open to any medicine which works. So whatever is working, we accept it. But however, we are not as people who have done our education through the MBBS system, we are not trained for what is being traditionally used in Ayurveda and homeopathy. So I am not the best person to say कि ये काम करता है या काम नहीं करता. But my logic is that something had it been working and it is proved to work, then modern medicine adopts it within its fold. That is all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I think Sheetal, we can move on to the next part of it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. I will like to invite Miss Arnaz to talk about iGift Life. Arnaz, are you there?
Yes, Sheetal. Good evening, all. It's been a pleasure to be able to talk to you. First of all, I had really no knowledge about seizures, and after attending this webinar, I feel confident that I can help someone who's facing such a situation. Thank you so much to all of you for making me aware about seizures. So we at iGift Life spread awareness about organ donation. Just like seizures, people are unaware about organ donation. Did you know that one individual can save up to 8 human lives? And the organ donation rate in India is 8 in 1 crore. And we are a population of 130 crores. Therefore, we have partnered with NHRD to spread awareness about organ donation. We would love to do online webinars for you and sessions for you so that we together can spread awareness about organ donation. To know more about organ donation, we will now watch a small video as to what can be donated and how it can help an individual. Sheetal, please can we have the video?
Great.
Very nice.
Wow. As mentioned before, it takes one person to take care of a person who's having seizures. Just like that, it takes one individual to help 8 lives. And in order to bring equilibrium in the 1 to 1 person in 1 crore people, organ donation is the true gift for humanity. To know more and get to know what we truly believe in, do log on to www.igiftlife.com. You can always connect with us on WhatsApp and email, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have a great evening ahead.
Great, Arnaz.
Thank
The
you.
cause that you are doing,
Thank you, Arnaz.
absolutely thumbs up.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we are running short the time.
Sheetal,
It's almost 7:30.
yes. Sheetal, we would like
Yes,
to take up the question and answers.
Few questions.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have a few questions. We have one question from Mr. Sunil Gaikwad. He wants to know what are the known side effects of epilepsy medicines.
Okay.
So can I
Dr.
answer that?
Purnima?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
Purnima,
So,
Please.
sir.
yeah, so as I said, we had some traditionally known medicines in allopathy, as everybody calls modern medicine. So those were phenytoin, carbamazepine, and phenobarbital, and then valproate was there. So these four drugs were the ones which were usually used in the olden days, and these medicines had a lot of side effects, and the common side effects being loss of balance, then the way a drunk person will have imbalance, that kind of loss of balance can happen with them. Then some blood problems also would occur with them. Decrease in calcium can also happen. So these are the side effects of the carbamazepine, phenytoin, and phenobarbital group of drugs. Phenobarbital also had some effects like causing slowing of the mind. But nowadays we don't use phenobarbital unless all the other drugs put together are not working. Now sodium valproate is an old drug, but it has some important side effects like it can cause weight gain and loss of hair. So when we see a girl patient, we stay away from that. It also causes some amount of menstrual disturbances, so ovarian dysfunction. So these are the common side effects. We don't use valproate much in old people because it also causes something which looks similar to Parkinson's disease. But having said this, valproate is still one of the very good drugs for juvenile myoclonic epilepsy and for absence seizures. So it is such a good drug that even with a single tablet, everything gets solved. So when we talk about side effects, it can sometimes sound frightening, but effects definitely are much more than the side effects. Then the newer drugs started coming up to battle with the side effects of the older drugs. So we have this oxcarbazepine, which is a cousin of carbamazepine. So that also has some amount of imbalance. Then skin rashes, phenytoin, carbamazepine, oxcarbazepine can have some amount of skin rashes. Then we have levetiracetam, which is one of the drugs which has the least side effects. But unfortunately, if someone has to have a side effect, then they can have mood swings, low moods as well as hyperactive behavior, depending upon that person's predisposition, which kind of side effect to develop. So when we see a patient on follow-up, we are mainly looking out for imbalance, so cerebellar signs, and we look out for skin rash. Some drugs cause increase in appetite like valproate. Some drugs cause loss of appetite like topiramate. So the hunger also can get affected. But main side effects are skin rashes and imbalance.
Can I add into this? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. No, being a psychologist, I will say that many people ask what are the side effects of the medicines, but I tell them you should see what are the good effects of those medicines. Your seizures are getting control. You are leading a normal life, so you should focus on that. And जो साइड इफेक्ट होते हैं वो हर एक को होता ही है ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं, कई लोगों को वो साइकोलॉजिकली होने लगता है. So my say on this is this is a good information, of course, what our doctor told us, but we should not go only for the side effect. We should see the good effects of the medicines.
Yes, of course, and in fact,
Hmm.
topiramate has a side effect of weight loss, and some people like that. So, then valproate has a secondary, I cannot call it as a side effect, but it has a secondary effect of mood stabilization. Lamotrigine bad side effect is skin rash, but good side effect is mood stabilization. So valproate and lamotrigine are very good medicines to stabilize the mood of that person as well. So whatever the other features are happening, so in fact these positive side effects are never really discussed, but we sometimes choose the medicine depending on this also, whether there is an additional effect the medicine has which fits in with the personality profile of that person. So that is another thing which helps us choose the medicine. Yeah.
So true, doctor. Yes,
Yeah.
Kecky?
Yeah.
I would just like to add that once you know, as Yashoda ma'am said, one should look at the positive effects as well, that it is helping you control the seizures. But what happens is once a person knows the side effects, then they can go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist to control the emotional and psychological side effects as well. Like how
Yeah.
doctor said, there are mood swings that are happening. So in the beginning,
Yeah.
just until you don't know that is a side effect of the medicine, you cannot go to a psychologist and a psychiatrist to get therapy and counseling. So along with neurological medication, you need to have counseling and psychological go hand in hand.
Balance.
So you cannot just say that
Yes,
yes,
that is
my
very
seizures are
important.
controlled. Yes, as my medicines are controlling my seizures, but psychologically you're lacking behind. So you need to know the side effects so that you can work on the psychological, you can work on the psychological side of it and become a better, you
Yeah.
can fulfill your life.
If you want to say there is a strong relationship between mind and epilepsy, right?
No, I'm saying there is a relationship with mind and everything, the entire body, not
Yes.
just epilepsy. When your stomach is upset, your mood becomes very cranky, right? Mind is
Yes.
there everywhere.
Okay. Sheetal, can we move to the next question?
Yes, yes,
I
sir.
would just interrupt a little bit here because
Yeah.
now since this is by NHRD and most of the people working in multinational companies, when they are even before they come to the doctor, they have already visited Google, and Google tells them the whole list. That's why I was very careful in mentioning only the main side effects, because what happens, like it was there for us when we were doing MBBS. Second year में हर किसी को एक ना एक बीमारी का hallucination होने लगता है. So like I always felt I was sure I had aortic incompetence because we read about it and I thought I had all the symptoms. So now Google
That
is
is
making
correlating.
this, Google is making this happen to everybody. So then what happens that they read about the side effects and they are so afraid of taking that medicine. And every day when you are swallowing that pill, you are thinking of the side effects. Then that mind is going to play tricks and actually might help that side effect to occur. So please don't go to Google. So,
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sheetal, can we quick questions? We're running short of time, Kirki madam.
You know, I was just adding that do not trust everything that you see on internet. Even my birth date is wrong. So on the internet, do not trust internet.
Yeah, right.
Darpan sir, any
Sheetal?
more questions from the audience?
Hi, Sheetal, hi, panelists. Yes, there is an interesting question which is there, which was popping up in my mind also. Firstly and foremost, thank you so much for such an enlightening session. You all are epilepsy warriors, and we already have one epilepsy warrior queen amongst us. And secondly, I would like to thank Dr. Purnima and Deena ma'am also, because I felt like they are in literal terms God's voice amongst us. We have never seen God, but
So
that's
true.
how they sound. So
Very true.
the question from Sunil Gaikwad ji is also extended on one point. What are the restrictions for people facing epilepsy in India in terms of driving and traveling? Can we touch that point also, because there may be many people who are great fantasizers of speed driving and all, so but they can they get the driving license, etc.?
Now in India, the rules are very blurry about this. I have worked in Australia, and in Australia, it was much easy to monitor this because the Vic roads, that means the RTO, was linked to the National Health Information System. So what happens is that whatever restrictions are there for the person with epilepsy are mainly for the first 6 months after the seizure has occurred. And why have we put these restrictions there? Because we don't know whether that medicine is definitely going to work or not. So there are restrictions like don't go near fire, then don't go for swimming, don't go for trekking, don't go anywhere alone. So wherever in case the patient has a seizure, he or she is likely to injure himself herself. That kind of a situation we do not want. So that's why the same rule will apply for driving. And in most of the Western countries, the rules are that private vehicle will not be driven for 6 months. And if you are a public transport driver, like you are a train driver or a bus driver, then you cannot do it for 2 years. 2 years of seizure free, because it is not just your own life in your hands, but so many people's life in your hands. So these are very strict rules. And now this requires honesty. आप अगर RTO का फॉर्म देखोगे तो वहां पे लिखा है कि do you have epilepsy, but because people, if they write yes, then I don't know what that RTO is going to do. So whether they have an option of writing ki controlled epilepsy, seizure free since so many years, I don't think that form gives us that provision. So if through NHRD you can do something to modify that form, that will be really great. And there is no connection between RTO and the fact whether the person has been admitted or not. Whether the person is controlled or not. ये record उनको access कैसे होगा? So that is the problem. And in spite of all this, in Australia, we did have a driver who still lied about his seizure, and the tram driver had a seizure while driving the tram. So, this is a matter of kind of faith between others and the connectivity between these two departments. So 6 months, no driving of personal vehicle. That is what we advise in our OPD.
So whatever Dr. Purnima is saying is absolutely right. See, I have epilepsy, but I have to lie that I don't have epilepsy. Because I'm seizure free for last 17 years. So I want to drive, right? So what can I do? So I have to lie for that. I have to write no. So then that's why we have to do something for this RTO rules.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have time?
If you don't have, I think we're running short with time, and if you don't have any questions from audience, we can take Kirti also for a few minutes.
Can I go ahead?
Darpan, do we have any questions?
Yes, I still wants to ask one question. One last question if we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yes, so there was one listener named Aswani Gupta. The person has actually left, but the question that he or she had asked is actually of value to the present listeners. One of my employees is suffering from this disease. Should I call him and do some counseling? Is the question.
Who would like
Yashoda,
to
do you
answer
want to
on
take this?
Yes, of course. Firstly, it is not a disease; it is disorder. And if you would see anyone living with epilepsy, you can surely refer him or her for counseling, because counseling is very important. Through counseling also, we can tell them to go to the neurologist and to do how to change their lifestyle, how to maintain the medicines and all those things. So counseling is very important for epilepsy, and they should surely refer the employees.
Yeah. Very true.
Ma'am, a couple of
I'm sure you
listeners.
can ask them.
Yeah, sorry, ma'am. Go
Yes,
ahead.
Sheetal, go ahead.
Okay, so
So
this
I'm
is
sure
for
you can refer them to Samvedana Foundation.
Yeah.
yes.
Sheetal,
On the
Yes,
same
Sheetal,
line,
go ahead.
a few listeners have also asked the contact details for Marriage Bureau for the Samvedana Foundation is running, and also the other contact details for counseling. So, ma'am, can you please provide?
Yeah, here actually, Sheetal will have the question for all everybody, and Yashoda ma'am will talk about Samvedana Foundation and the activities they are carrying. Will be helpful to all the audience. So I request Yashoda ma'am to talk about more Samvedana.
Yes. Our Samvedana Foundation is charitable trust, and it is epilepsy support group. We are working for last 16 years for epilepsy. Our main activity is epilepsy support group meetings. those are held in Nivara Old Age Home in Pune, in Navi Pet area. So what are support group meetings? So we discuss on various topics related to epilepsy, like diet and epilepsy, yoga and epilepsy, and we invite neurologists and we tell them to talk about this. So in support group meeting, all the people with epilepsy, we get together, and parents also come there. So it is encouraging for them to show the positive way. And since Leena ma'am is there, of course, I will tell one of our very important activity, and that is medicine project for the people with epilepsy. When Samvedana Foundation started, we saw the real poverty in India, because when we see we are from the good families and we don't have any problem to buy the medicine, but there were people who were not able to buy their medicines. So we were very shocked to see that. Once a man came to us and he told us that he has twins of 18 years old, and both of them have epilepsy, and he is treating only one of them. So I was really shocked that how can a father say that I am treating only one of my boys. So that was a turning point, and we started thinking, what can we do that? And that's why we started our medicine project. We decided, we and our core committee, our trustees, we decided to help the poor people for their epilepsy medicines. Of course, we have to check if there is real need of this, and then we decide how to help them. In the beginning, we had only the personal donors, the very small donations we had, so we were helping only 20 people, and that was also partial help for their medicines. People with epilepsy used to come to our counseling center at Nivara, and we used to check we used to check their receipts, and we used to give them the medicine. But later we didn't have funds, so I wrote on Facebook that we are doing this activity, and we need the funds. So I got a call from Bajaj CSR that time. So it was so nice of them that they were aware of what is written on Facebook. So 2016, we are getting help from Bajaj CSR, and from that moment we are helping more than 100 people with epilepsy. Currently we are helping 127, and we are not only helping them for their epilepsy medicine, but also for their tests like EEG, MRI. Even some of them are even ICU, we can help them partially. And it is so satisfying work. It is really satisfying work that when we see that we are helping them regularly, and now their epileptic seizures are in control. So when they come to us and when they tell us that now I'm all right, now doctor has taper off my medicine and I'm only on one medicine, so it's okay. So it is a real joy. This work is giving us a really some satisfaction. So we are thankful to Bajaj Finance Limited, and they are helping us regularly. And it's so nice of them that they come to us, they see, and we are always ready to show them our work. We invite them. So because of them, we are able to do this. As I told you earlier, that we are also doing this epilepsy marriage bureau thing. And so that is also one of our very big activity, and we are helping other support groups to start epilepsy marriage bureaus in their support groups or in their cities. So when Purnima madam was at Nagpur, we helped them to start marriage bureau there also. Currently we have started a new project, and that is a job placement for people with epilepsy. See, only education is not important only, but the confidence in that person is also important. So to build up the confidence, and to tell them how to give interview, how to go there, how to apply, these things are also very important. And how to use laptop, from there we have to start sometime, from the people from rural area or people from slum area. So we are doing workshop from there for them for the job placement. So these are activities we are doing, and we are really getting good response from all over Maharashtra and from other states as well.
Thank you, Yashoda ma'am.
Can I just add? Yeah,
Yeah,
can
please.
I just add to
Yes.
that? Yeah. So I have seen Yashoda ma'am's work, and what we are doing is like just a drop in the ocean, is what I feel. And I mean, with that kind of support, if she's able to reach such a big number of people, I think hats off to her and her team for doing a wonderful job.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Very good job. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it was wonderful session. We really thank Yashoda ma'am, Ketki, Purnima ma'am, and okay, Yashoda ma'am is giving her email ID. In case if anyone have any query, do email her. It's yashoda.wakankar@gmail.com, and there is some Vedana website as well. So do email her, do get in touch with her, and we thank Leena ma'am also, so that Bajaj, how Bajaj is helping to the epilepsy people, we got to know from them. So we really thank, and thanks all the panelists, all the participants. It gives us just do participate. It gives us motivation to organize such kind of webinars. So really thanks a lot.
yeah, I would say this is now, this is
And
not the end of
I'm really
webinar.
thankful to NHRD. Mhm.
Yeah.
If you could see, today is a 7/7. It's Sat Sat. So all of us are working Sat Sat. HRD, Samvedana, Bajaj, everybody we are Sat Sat, and definitely
That's a good.
we'll have a
Yeah.
good moment again in future also. So thanks
Sure.
again. Thanks everybody. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome.